imagine you're at the Oscars. You placed your bets, the winners are announced, you lean forward, heart racing, wondering, did I pick right? Now, here's the million-dollar question. Would you bet on every nominee in all 23 categories? Go ahead, pause this video and comment your answer below. I'll wait. Me? Sure, it's a strategy, but will it get me rich? Nope. You'll win some, but you're guaranteed to lose a lot. And here's the twist. This is exactly how rich people invest, and it's called diversification, and it's the strategy I followed for years. But then I learned something that changed everything. The real winning strategy, the one that doubled my portfolio in just over 1 year, well, let me tell you the story of how I figured it all out the hard way. So grab yourself a cup of coffee and let's catch up on this episode of Lady Boss of Finance. The Oscars, the lights, the fashion, the stakes. Okay, so I'm just realizing I'm just, a tad underdressed right now, so let's fix that. There. I'm a sequined up, shimmering disco ball rivaling Margot Robbie's sequin Versace gown last year at the 2024 Oscars. Why did I zhuzh up my look? Because it's Hollywood's biggest night. The gowns, the couture, and if you love couture and learning finance through fashion, subscribe and check out the video I'm going to soon be shooting and publishing, where I am going to explain the stock market and the cycles in the stock market, just like Paris Fashion Week. Anyways, back to the Oscars. Yes, we do have gowns, and we also have speeches. And, sometimes you're going to get a mixed bag. Some of them are going to be heartfelt, some cringeworthy, depending on how much champagne was involved. But let's be real. We're watching from the couch, making predictions with friends or family on who's winning. So let's make it a little more spicy and interesting, and let's put some money on the table. You have two choices. Option 1, bet on every single nominee in all 23 categories. Or option 2, bet on a few nominees you think will win. And I'm looking at you, Ariana Grande. I got my bet on you this year with Wicked. When you look at those two choices, it sounds a little ridiculous, right? Because sure, if you choose option 1, you bet on everything, you're gonna win something, you're gonna win some things. But you'd also be betting on a ton of losers. No offense to those who are just nominees, there's nothing just about it, you're a nominee. But this is about money, right? This, however, this is the crazy part, this is how most people invest. I certainly did option 1 until 2024. So let me explain. When it comes to investing, there's two main strategies. Diversification on one side versus concentration on the other. And as I learned the hard way, they are not created equal. Let's start at the top. Number 1, diversification. This is the bet on everyone strategy. Diversification is like betting on every nominee. You spread your money across hundreds of investments. What's the idea behind it? You won't lose everything. And the most common way people diversify? Index funds. Think of them like a Sephora favorite set. You get a little bit of everything. If one stock crashes, no big deal. If, however, one skyrockets, you only own a tiny little piece of it. Just like that Sephora set, you're gonna get some winners, some losers. Maybe that lipstick tastes like, a weird piece of plastic. Sometimes it's gonna be good, sometimes it's not, you don't know. And if you like that analogy, by the way, make sure to subscribe, because I'm gonna publish a whole other video where I explain the stock market like Sephora and shopping in Sephora very, very soon. Anyways, back to this video. Who uses this diversification strategy? Rich people. because their goal isn't to double their money. They have a lot of money already. They're rich. So their goal is to protect what they already have. But if you're not already rich, what if you need to turn $10 into $100, or hundreds into thousands, or thousands into millions? Well, cue up strategy number 2, the bet on winners strategy. This is where concentration comes in. Instead of owning everything, you own a few high growth investments with massive upside. It's the difference between sprinkling a little money everywhere versus putting money where it actually grows. And full disclosure, it's a wilder ride, but that's exactly why the rewards are bigger. Here's the real question. If you wouldn't place bets on every Oscar nominee, why would you do it with your investments, especially if you aren't rich to begin with and your goal is to get rich? The answer to that question is my own personal confessional story. Our confessional story goes way back to 2018, a time when the 90th Academy Awards gave out awards to Coco for Best Animated Feature Film and to Frances McDormand for 3 Billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri. Back then, I was working at an investment management company and I got some what I thought was really great advice. I went to people at my company, and these were the people who help manage rich people's money, and followed their smart, and I'm using air quotes for a reason, it's smart for some people, wasn't smart for me, but I followed their SMART strategy. The 60-40 diversified splits, stocks and bonds, index funds, safe and responsible. The strategy for the rich. Leading up to 2018, I had saved up my bonuses, my raise money, and I had $35,000 to invest. What did I do? I put the diversified strategy to work, and then I waited. And then I waited, and then waited, and waited some more. 6 years later, I had barely made anything. And it was crazy. Like, if I was doing everything right, if I was following the advice of what rich people get, why wasn't I getting rich? Then, February 2024, a single conversation changed everything. A former financial advisor at my company pulled me aside and said, diversification is for people who already have money. If you want to grow money, you need a highly concentrated portfolio of growth investments. What? I was floored. Man, for 6 years, I had been playing the wrong game. So I did my research on what high growth investments were in the first place. I logged into my Schwab account to make those changes, and then I just stared. I stared at my computer screen and I couldn't pull the trigger. But why? Because everything I knew about smart investing screamed at me to stop. The fear of the unknown, the what if I'm wrong doubt, that deeply ingrained belief that diversification was safe and that anything and everything else would be reckless. But the hardest part was admitting that 6 years of playing it safe had kept me stuck. Changing strategies wasn't just about moving money around to new things. That was the easy part. The hard part, it was about retraining my mindset. Did I rip the Band-Aid off? No. But I made it manageable. The stock market, it's open Monday through Friday. So I used each day, 5 days, 5 trades. Each day I sold off my losers and I bought my new winners. And by Friday, my portfolio and my strategy, they look completely different. I mean, it was pretty cool. It was like a money makeover. And who doesn't love a good makeover? And the results? Check them out for yourself. 6 years of diversification took me from $35,000 to $40,000. In just over 1 year with a concentrated strategy, my $40,000 investment doubled. This shift you're seeing, this isn't just about investing. It's about understanding that building wealth is as much about the mindset as it is about the investments. And this leads me to my 3 tips for you. And here is what I wish I knew sooner. Pro tip number 1. If you want to stay rich, diversify. If you want to get rich, concentrate. I can't tell you what to invest in because the legal beagles would come after me, but I can tell you and show you what I did. I bet on high growth sectors and companies like AI and technology while keeping cash on hand for strategic plays. And if you want more of a deep dive of what my investments are, let me know in the comments and we'll see if we can make a whole video about that deep dive of exactly what I'm invested in and why. Pro tip number 2, cut losers early and double down on those winners. If something isn't growing, I sell it. And if something's winning, I go all in. It's just like betting on Meryl Streep for Best Actress. You know she's gonna win. Pro tip number 3, know what ride you're stepping onto. That smooth Pirates of the Caribbean ride, it is not the same experience as Space Mountain. Both are rides at the happiest place on earth. They're both at Disneyland, but Space Mountain, it takes more of a mindset to jump on board with, especially if you had some pizza or you have a full stomach, and especially if you're not sure roller coasters are even your thing. So just know that diversification, it's that slow and steady Pirates of the Caribbean strategy, and it's also the one that likely will not get you rich. But a concentrated portfolio, as you can see with my own, it's higher stakes, it goes up and down a lot more, and it's also much higher rewards. And trust me on this one, after wasting 6 years on the wrong strategy, I'd say this ride is worth it for me and for my life goal of getting financial freedom. What's the real lesson here? It's not just about diversification versus concentration. It's about stepping onto the right ride for the goal you actually have that you want to get done in your own life. For 6 years, I played it safe. I followed the smart advice. And I realized it was for the wrong person. And my money, it barely moved. But once I shifted my strategy, once I let go of what was comfortable and I embraced what actually worked, my portfolio doubled in a year. And that's what I want you to take away from this. The biggest risk isn't picking the wrong stock. You can always sell it. The biggest risk is staying stuck because you're afraid to step onto a different ride. If this hit home, drop a comment and let's chat. And if you're ready to make smarter, bolder moves with your money, hit that like and subscribe button because next time we're diving into market cycles explained as Paris Fashion Week. And until then, I will see you very, very soon on our next episode of Lady Boss of Finance.